This is the Sports Hit List. By the fans, for the fans.
Carl Coulange for the Sports Hit List, by the fans and for the fans, here with Andres and Ziggs. It's been a crazy week in the NBA. I don't even know where to begin. But I guess the question comes down to is who are the winners and who are the losers? Ziggs, I'm going to start with you. Who you got as the winner here in this NBA trade deadline?
For me, my number one winner came out to be San Antonio Spurs. I think them getting De'Aaron Fox was such a boss move. They got a premier point guard in the game. The fact that they still going to keep Chris Paul and have him come off the bench, that just solidifies that team even more. It opens up Wemby's game a lot more. You see what he did when he in his premiere. I think he had like 25 points, 13 assists, like that. He was really cooking. From there now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still trying to analyze that Lakers Dallas Mavericks trade, man. Because Carl, you was the one. I was at a party, and you sent you broke the tech. Yo, you broke the news to me, bro. And that was the same night that the Lakers had just beat the Knicks. So I was actually partying with a Laker fan, and I showed him the text, and he was like, his night was off. He was totally upset by that. You know, the fact that they gave away AD. I'm still trying to figure that out because I just don't know. Is that a trade for now? Is that a trade for down the line? Is Luka? Is that more so for Luka to be the face as LeBron gets ready to edge out? I'm not too sure. And on side of Dallas, all right. Let me stop fronting. I think the Lakers got the better deal, of course, and I think the Dallas Mavericks are obviously going to regret that in the future. I think the Dallas Mavericks need somebody that's going to be able to open up the floor for Anthony Davis. I don't quite think Kyrie Irving is that guy. He's a two in a one's body. They still need that prototypical point guard, and they still need somebody that's going to be able to move that ball around. I think this is going to come back to bite Dallas in a few years. The Lakers, especially after them also picking up Mark Williams from over there in Charlotte. A lot of people had to Google his stats, but if you play fantasy, you know that dude is pretty damn good. So I'm gonna give the Lakers the edge on that one as the winner. I'm not quite saying that Dallas is the loser. To me, the only losers that I think in this trade deadline, you have to. I'll let you guys speak on Golden State because I'm still not really sold on that one either. Sorry, Andres. I know you love Jimmy. The two for me is the Phoenix Suns. You did nothing. Right? You went and got those 3 first-round picks for what? To do what? Now you're just sitting on there doing nothing. They talked about how Kevin Durant had the conversation with Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant was super cold towards the Golden State organization. That tells us what? That he still has feelings about what went down with the whole Draymond situation and probably some other stuff. And the Utah Jazz. Yo, Danny Ainge, I'm so happy that he got screwed over in this deal. Like, I don't want to see the Lakers win, but the fact that Danny Ainge has been screwing teams over for years upon years upon years, it feels good to know that you made this deal not knowing what you were doing for the Los Angeles Lakers, you big dummy. Like, I'm glad you're going to take that L on the chin. I hope you wear it with all disgust because he's been robbing the Knicks for years. And when he was doing his thing, yeah, that's all I got to say on that, man. I think Utah and Phoenix are the losers. I think the Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs are the winners. I'm not sure where Sacramento falls yet, and I'm not really feeling Golden State just yet.
I actually broke the news to Anthony. I called him, and he was like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" And he thought I was lying. He's like, "Yo, stop trolling me. Like, is everything okay?"
Well,
I broke the news to Mike.
Right?
Yeah, I broke the news to Mike. Mike said the same. He's like, "Yo, stop lying, because one of my students sent it to me. It was right after the Rumble, and I'm still on my Rumble high.
Yeah,
and people are sending it to me. I will say this before I get to Andres. I think there's something wrong with Luka, which is why the trade went down. And I think it's deeper than that because, and I said this to Ziggs, no player in their prime who's a franchise player gets traded like that. And you're coming off an NBA Finals win. There's something wrong. There's something wrong there. And I think there's something to say. If you look at franchise players in the history of the league, you're coming off a franchise, you're coming off an NBA Finals loss, and you just took your team there, and all of a sudden the team just says, pack it up, we're sending you somewhere else. That doesn't seem to happen. So that's where I'll leave it at that. Andres, who are your winners and losers?
So I finished watching the Royal Rumble. I turned on Call of Duty. I was playing Call of Duty, and then I see the Shams tweet, and I'm like, oh, who hacked this guy? And then he said this, and he was like, no, yes, this is true. And I'm like, oh shit, like I'm not getting trolled right now. So I'm just sitting there in disarray for like 30 minutes. Like I couldn't even log in for COD. I'm like, bro, I need to like get to the bottom of this. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So that was my initial reaction to that trade. I was like, what the fuck? I texted one of my friends. I FaceTimed him. He was like, bro, I can't talk right now. I'm like, bro, pick up the phone. And then I told him to go reach Shams on Twitter. He was like, yo, what the fuck? So then we were on the phone talking about it. It's crazy, man. Like, but say that out loud, right? Luka Doncic got traded. I'm sorry, but that's crazy. Whether he weighs 600 pounds or 100 pounds with a wet towel on, you're not trading Luka Doncic. And people are like, oh, well, he's out of shape. Okay, so he was out of shape on one leg, and he took the Mavericks to the finals. Like, I don't understand why people were so, like, trying to make conclusions out of Luka Doncic. Like, we're talking about a generational player, man. Like, regardless. And I just want to give a shout-out to a lot of people that think that we're biased and hate Luka on this show, that we're giving him his flowers right now. So for the people that have ears and can listen, not hear, but listen, we're currently praising Luka Doncic. I had to get that off my chest. Anyways, as I was saying, any team that acquires a top 5 player at their peak probably wins the trade, right? Like Ziggy said, I don't think Dallas are losers necessarily, but they did have to trade Luka, and Anthony Davis is 6 years older. And I know he fits the timeline of Kyrie because Kyrie's 32 and Klay is fresh off of a mediocre year with the Warriors, we can say. But PJ Washington is still there. I know they have to give Spencer Dinwiddie more minutes, but let's get to the winners. Number one, the Lakers, right? You traded for Luka Doncic. He's 25 years old. You traded for Luka Doncic. LeBron is probably going to renew for another 2 years, hopefully. It's going to be sad the day LeBron retires, but hopefully he renews for another year or two, see them play together. Number two, Carl, I will say this. I don't think the Cavs can beat you guys, but they did get better getting DeAndre Hunter. So I think the Cavs are another winner in the deadline. You got Darius Garland, all-star. Donovan Mitchell, all-star starter. DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. So I think the Cavs are able to like compete with you guys. I know they're the 1 seed right now, and you guys have busted their teeth in both matchups.
Wait, did you say Donovan Mitchell in that list?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you didn't say.
I said all-star starter.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those are my winners. The losers, I don't want to piggyback off what Ziggy said, but you got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and you do nothing with it. You acquired multiple first-round picks, like Ziggy alluded to, and you do nothing with it. Like, the Suns almost traded Kevin Durant. How do you trade Kevin Durant? And I know Devin Booker wasn't an all-star, but he's still a top 10, top 12 player, you know? Another team that lost, all bias aside, the Miami Heat, man. I'm sorry. If I'm Pat Riley, I would have paid Jimmy Butler. And the thing of it is, if you did want to trade Jimmy Butler and not create this whole scenario, this whole chaos, you could have gotten to him in the summer and be like, hey, Carl, you're not in the plans for the future. Can we work out a trade? And then Carl will be like, yeah, absolutely. Let's make it happen. Instead, you let it drag out to the season, and then mid-season, you're like, you know what? We're going to trade you. Like, it's unprofessional. He's been in the business for 60 years. I just thought that was very unprofessional. Ziggy, I did have a question. Do you think the Knicks should have made a move?
No, and I'm glad. You know what? You read my mind. You know, Professor X. You definitely read my mind because there were a lot of people complaining that the Knicks should have made a move. Knicks should have did that. Did Jericho Sims?
It's just
right. Yeah, something small. But we have our core. We have our main core, and at this point too, I think the Knicks are above that tax apron. So we're very limited in the moves that we can make. So if you're not really paying attention to the cap situation, if you're not paying attention to the money and the salaries, then you should just shut the hell up because the Knicks really couldn't do anything. And we needed somebody, you know, extra who could help out on the wing. Delion Wright could provide that for us a little bit. And we have Mitch Robinson coming back. So what are we doing here?
Not only that, Ziggs, sorry, just real quick. You have to look out at the buyout market too and see who's available and who's potentially you could pick somebody up on the cheap in the buyout market. So there's I could totally see Marcus Smart being waived. Clearly, he went to Washington. Yeah,
that's so sad, bro.
It is. It really is. So there's a lot of upside and potential. I could see PJ Tucker too as well being available, and he hasn't played all season, but he could be in the. But he could be available in in the market is what I'm saying.
No, but I'm asking Ziggy because these are the fans that I despise the most. The fans that say make a move to make a move. The Knicks are a contender in the East. They don't need to make a lateral move to make a lateral move.
What move do we need to make? Like that we have our solid individual. As Carl alluded to, you want to make a move to bolster the bench, we can look to the buyout market. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to move it. Josh Hart is playing well. OG's playing well. Mikal Bridges is playing well. For all the Nets fans who want to talk about trading away 5 picks. Of course,
all-star starters, both all-star starters.
Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns is playing well.
Yeah.
Deuce is a little bit shaky because he's been hurt. We still have Landry Shamet on the bench. Like, what are we doing here? We don't need to really make any major moves. We just need to like really have Tibbs work on sharing these minutes out because we definitely don't need our players playing 35 plus every goddamn night.
Thanks for watching the Sports Hit List. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In fact, do it now.